I hear the angels singing. I hear them singing like. I hear the angels singing. Yeah. I hear them singing like. Hey. Calculate your stuff, be careful what you're doing, ayy. These angels taking notes, recording everything you say. Right there with you, yeah, they see you every time you pray. When you out and about, they're watching how you behave. The Father gave them special orders, daily they reporting. When the sun go up, when the sun go down, they appear and perform. Do you really want your name in the book of life? You must rewire your mind and think Christ. Or the homeless man begging, tell me, will you give your life? Will you get your last dime cause you feel it's right? Will you go and see the sick and physically touch them? Walk into a violent neighborhood and have a discussion. These are the works he sent us out to do. Nothing is hidden, said that we would know you by your fruit. Hey, they say the greatest trait to have is love. Go and give somebody a hug. Pick your spirit up now. I hear the angels singing. They be singing like. I hear the angels singing.
Yeah.
They be singing like.
After all the struggle, after all the pain, after how they spoke about me with so much disdain, talked about me like I wasn't even standing there, and they was right and I deserved it and I didn't care. Who'd have ever thought the Father make me a winner? Discipline nowadays can't even eat their dinner. A living sacrifice committed to the path of Christ. Out here acting right so I can shine in the afterlife. Hey, for everyone that rides out that water, the angels sing and rejoice over their sons and daughters. Steady bring us from the bottom back up to the top. Now I look across the feast day at 1,000 odds. Not to mention all our women and our children. We about to face the east. Everybody in the building, and I know the heavens must be smiling down. Imagine if we got the throne, angels all around, singing.
They be singing like. I hear the angels singing. They be singing like. I hear the angels singing. Make the blind see in the lane walk. Heal those who were wanted, cast the demons out. He was the perfect example. He came to show us all what to do. Said be ye perfect, letting us know we can do it too. Get your house in order, family is so important. Strengthen your vessel, the enemy made a weapon for us. A silent killer, be careful because they aiming for us. The time we living in was prophesied, expecting trouble. I'm pervading the spirit, put on the whole armor. No worries, don't allow the spirit to feel to be on you. My heart go out to all the families that suffer losses. That's your brother, I mourn with you, my heart is soft. And those who never step into the light, dwell amongst the righteous up in paradise. Hey, make those who never step into the light, dwell amongst the righteous up in paradise. I hear them sing. They be singing like. I hear the angels singing. They be singing like. I hear the angels singing.
Start off giving blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. All right. We had us that opening from Brother Bronze. You know what I'm saying? The Most High Power put that on my spirit to play that. That was the Father's will, not mine. You know what I mean? This is what the Most High Power wanted to open up this Shabbat with. Let's do it. All right now, man. The Savior has returned. All right.
Hey, you know what's better than $5,000 PC?
Hold on.
A $5,000 PC that costs.
Who was that? Salaki.
Hey, you know what's better than $5,000 PC?
My bad. 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 My bad Stuff was going down. All right. I'm gonna open up these slides real quick. This is a video, a breakdown I thought I did in the past, but I come to realize that I didn't even do this video. So it tripped me out. So this is what we about to do.
This is something I thought I did.
What's the title of this video again?
The Savior has returned to rule the earth. Undeniable proof.
Undeniable proof. Well, we're about to go through this undeniable proof, man. All praises to the Most High Power, man. One nation set apart. All right. All praises. All right. Get my sound right. So as we see in these last days, that the Most High God, man, he's judging this nation. And a lot of people are just in a state of disbelief. And some other people, man, they might know that it's true, but they might be feeling like they too far to turn back. They at the point of no return into this realm of wickedness, man. But at the end of the day, this is the day that we all been waiting for. This is the day that everything has been built up for, man. Everything's been built up to serve these times that we in right now, man. I'm talking about all the slavery that we went through, all the technological advancements, and everything in between. This is all to cater to the final days, man. And in them final days, man, Christ returns. But people are misguided in the book on how this is supposed to look as pertaining to the coming of Christ. All right. That's why we got to go through this once again. Let me get my sounds right real quick. Boom. Y'all can hear everything?
All
right. Pardon me for the slow exchange. All right. So we're going through proof. So proof is what would be accepted today as contemporary evidence. All right. So let's look at this word contemporary evidence, because that's what people, a wicked and adulterous generation, they actually want contemporary evidence to prove anything, because we are in the times of existence to where everything is being presented to you. Everything is at easy access, easy accessible. Easy accessibility is the term. So everything is set at easy accessibility. And people have now gotten their intellect spoiled, because everything that they want to commit themselves to, they got to have proof. They got to see some type of sign or something evidentiary to back up this movement. So contemporary evidence, or a deliberate sign, is what has been presented. Is just that, like Christ said in the scripts, this wicked and adulterous generation won't receive the sign. You know, they're not going to be receptive. And that goes a lot with on how people view things, because as we're gonna go down, we're gonna look at this sign, and we're gonna look at it from both ends of the spectrum. What I mean by that is we're gonna go into the biblical way that it has been described as a sign, and then we're gonna go into what we'll say the scientific approach. Them people are always wrong. Them people is always liars. But we're gonna deal with it face on. All right. So contemporary is living or occurring at the same time. All right. That's the first definition. And we do have something that lines up with that. And if you all ever seen what they call a solar halo, that's something that is occurring at this time. We know that. But where everybody's getting confused or where everybody is misguided is that they're not capable of lining that up with the scriptures about when it pertains to a mentioning of this sign that occurs at the same time of Christ's arrival. All right. So we just got to get these definitions down real quick so we know what we're establishing. This is the foundation of what we're actually going to be outlining today. So
yeah, because these points that are highlighted are key.
Definitely they are key. The second one is belonging to or occurring in the present. All right. And then thirdly, he says a person or thing living or existing at the same time as another. So this person.
What do you? Oh, my bad. You're gonna go into it. All right,
I was just gonna say just real quick. So this person, when it says or, and this one is the person and the thing existing at the same time as another. The thing is going to be the actual sign. The person that exists along with this sign is the coming of Christ. All right, so let's hit that next slide. And that's going to bring us to recommending that we go to Genesis 9 and 12 to start off. And let me remind you that I don't know anything about this video. I found this video looking for something else. I found all these slides and I actually can't even remember exactly when. I know that I did this. I know I did this lesson. I know I made this lesson, but I don't remember when I dropped this lesson. I don't remember even when I made it. So I'm mentioning that to let you know that I'm learning right along with you as of right now. I don't know what the slides are going to present. All right, so Genesis 9 and 12. Let's see what Genesis 9 and 12 has in store for us. Okay, Genesis 9 and 12, it says, and God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud. So first and foremost, you see how I highlighted, I do set my bow in the cloud? Okay. This bow that we see, is that bow in the cloud?
No.
Is it? It isn't, huh? I'm looking right at it. That is not a rainbow that is in the clouds. And the last time I seen a rainbow, they weren't in the clouds. So why is the Bible?
Not a rainbow in the cloud.
Huh?
That's not in the clouds.
It's not in the clouds. So why are we saying? Why is the Bible saying things that doesn't actually line up with reality? When everybody has taken this scripture, 9 and 13 of Genesis, as the rainbow that we see after it rains. But every time we see a rainbow after it rains, it's not in the clouds. It's on the ground. That's the whole, the whole pagan adventure is drawn from when it's a rumor that there's a golden pot at the end of the rainbow. But the rainbow's on the ground. That's the only way that you can actually have that fairy tale or that tall tale to exist. What? So I'm just saying that because the rainbow has always been on the ground, and there's always been, and we got folk tales that solidifies and reinforces that statement that the rainbows are on the ground. So when God said, this is the token of the covenant, you know what I'm saying? For perpetual generations, then he tells you explicitly what is going on. He says, I do set my bow in the cloud. So he takes the bow and he sets it in the clouds. Because we know where the bow is at. It's always on the ground. But he's saying, no, okay, but when I'm dealing with y'all, when there's a covenant popping off, he's like, I'm gonna take this bow, he's like, I'm gonna put it in the clouds. He's like, and no, don't take the scientific explanation for it when they come around and say, hey, these are solar flares. I mean, these are solar halos. These are from ice crystals forming in the atmosphere and the sun hitting it. And you're like, oh, really? When did these ice crystals exist? When did they start existing? They always existed. You're like, but the solar halos has not always existed. So if the crystals always existed and the sun itself has always existed, why haven't we had solar halos being painted by that crazy white dude, Ross? We all know about the landscape artist, the white man with the big afro, painting all these landscape scenes. Why don't we have any artists, for that matter, ever depicting these solar halos? Because they never existed. They didn't exist for a long period of time. And right now, the Most High God is taking and basing claims to these things, man. He's saying, hey, man, no, I'm the one that did that. I do that. He said, I do set my bow in the cloud. Not they always have existed. No, I said it. I'll take it and put it in the cloud. He said, and it shall be for a token. The word token is, look in the Hebrew, it's sign.
God.
He said, so it shall be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. And who is at the earth, right? Who is considered the earth now in the last days? Israel. Israel in a fallen state.
God. That's right.
So he says, it is a sign between me, the sign of a covenant between me and the children of Israel that has fallen. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. That's exactly what we're seeing right here in this picture right here to the left. And I've seen this with my own eyes, time after time after time.
God.
Then he says, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the earth shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And we're seeing, and I didn't highlight this word flood or nothing, but a flood is when a wise man, his dark parable goes throughout and covers all the land. And we've been victims of that happening when the Catholic Church came out with their version of wisdom, their ungodly wisdom, when they developed a false religion to serve as an excuse to destroy and enslave and mutilate the children of God. All right? And we've been living up under those conditions or the ripple effects from those events all the way up until today. But the Most High God is showing us that when this rainbow goes around this sun like this that you see on the left, that the covenant, the first and foremost thing that we should be looking for in this covenant is that he's not going to destroy us anymore with the lies that derives from the wicked white man's serpent tongue.
God.
Yeah, I said that. Serpent tongue. He says, and the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token / sign of the covenant, which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. So now let's go over to Exodus 16 and 6. So what we just read is God is saying that there is a perpetual indication. There is a perpetual indicator that aligns with God dealing with certain individuals or life form on earth. When God is dealing with life form on earth, and there is a threat of the destruction of the flesh or extinction of a humankind, that he is going to show a sign. There's going to be an indicating mark or a token. Exodus 16 and 6, and he says, and Moses said unto Aaron and to all the children of Israel, at evening, then you shall know that Yahweh, the Lord, has brought you out of the land of Egypt. And y'all see the solar flares at night too. You see right here on the picture on the screen. And not solar flares, my bad. I keep saying solar flares. Solar halo. They call it a solar halo. We call it the Shekinah. So we see the Shekinah over here. We see the Shekinah right here. There's a daytime Shekinah and there's a nighttime Shekinah.
God.
And when we see this, when we see these two things, man, these are indications that lets you know where you're at chronologically, man, in the timeline when it comes down to the ending of these days. In other words, the eradication of the demonic system. When the eradication of the demonic system is being set about, something else comes along with it, which is we won't be destroyed through false religions.
That's right.
Right. We will no longer be destroyed through false religions, and we will be getting brought up out of our place of oppression.
God.
He says, and in the morning, all right, then you shall see the Shekinah. And the morning is the re-establishment of the kingdom, the reinstitution of the kingdom, the restoration of God's kingdom, the beginning of it. So when you see it in the morning, or the restoration of God's kingdom, you're going to see something. There's supposed to be an indicator. And as we see right here on the bottom left, it says you'll see the glory, the Shekinah of Yahweh, because that he hears your murmurings against Yahweh. And what are we that you murmur against us? Because we got a lot of people, man, that even if you like, we have brought this to people's attentions, and a lot of people received it, but then we have some people that wants to make a mockery, joke around and fart about it. But the whole thing is, man, you're not really clowning. You're not clowning an Israelite that shows you something like this.
God.
Because we ain't nothing. Who are we? This is coming from the word of Moses, man. Moses is saying this, like, man, who are we? We talk about him and Aaron. He said, you ain't really beefing with me. You ain't beefing with Moses and Aaron. In other words, too, you're not beefing with an Israelite when he tells you something like this. Even though you're clowning and trying to, you know what I'm saying, make him look like he's an idiot or a quack. He says, they actually saying that you're actually beefing with God, man. And Moses spake unto Aaron, saying to all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for he has heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the Shekinah of Yahweh appeared in the cloud.
That's right.
This is what we're talking about, man. So we can see that when the children of Israel, first when he established this covenant with Abraham, he described it. All right. Then when that actually came true, when he says that they're not going to be no more destroyed by religions or some wicked leaders, quote unquote, wisdom. Like when Pharaoh's taskmasters and all them was like, yeah, let's they said let's deal with them wisely. Remember that? Remember when Pharaoh said, all right, let's deal with them wisely and cause these people to work double time. You know, cause these people to work double time so they can not be focused on worshiping their God. You know, and honestly, you know what I'm saying, just from my personal experience, from my perspective right now, today, I see that happening, man. I'm over here, man. I'm working double time now all of a sudden. Why am I working double time all of a fucking sudden, man? What the fuck? Excuse my language, children. But I'm just saying, man, like, man, I'm working double time because the taskmasters, man, is doing the same shit again.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, who's your taskmaster? My taskmaster is the landlord, man.
Man,
that's a taskmaster. That dude right
there.
You
gotta out here. My bad. Go ahead.
That dude can come up over here right now and tell me to fucking clean, do something to the lawn, man. I mean, I'll have to fucking do that shit. Excuse my language, kids, but man, you're gonna be talking like the way I'm talking about this type of stuff when you get my age. If you trapped in this wicked system still, you're gonna be pissed off. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 7:7, man, oppression makes a wise man mad, man. You be an oppressed man that is wise, he's going to be pissed off. People are going to be wondering, like, yeah, man, what gotten into that guy? Why he got an attitude, man? That dude, he tripping. Yeah, he's tripping. He's smart.
That's right.
He's actually aware.
Yeah, he figured it out. He knows that we are holding him here in this land by making him pay rent. So, and we only pay him a little bit money at work. So he only has enough money to pay rent, pay utilities, pay some gas, and you know what I mean, get back to work. Probably get some food.
For real, man. Shit. Fucking taskmasters, man. And the Most High, man, he's like, man, there's a sign, man, that I'm gonna be taking you guys up out of that. Man, when y'all see that rainbow around the sun, man, know that my plan is to take you out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, out of this system of slavery. Because the borrower is slave to the lender. That's what the scripture says. So I'm borrowing the house. That means that I am a slave to this man. That's my taskmaster. People try to say that slavery ended. No, it didn't. Because I'm still borrowing from the white man. I have to borrow a house. I gotta literally borrow a house. And if this dude says, hey man, you know what? I'm raising the rent and I want you out. There ain't nothing I can do. But you know, I was planning on being here. Don't mean shit. I don't have nowhere else to stay. Not his problem. See, I mean, our people, man, we gotta wake up, man. Let's go to Ezekiel 1:26, man. The Matthew's in 1537 Bible, it says, and above the firmament there was over their heads. That was over their heads. There was a fashion of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man upon it. And I beheld him, and he was like a clear, also bright light, as it had been all of fire within from his loins upward. And beneath, when I looked upon him under the loins, I thought he was like a shining fire that gives light on every side. So this is what Ezekiel is seeing right here. Ezekiel to the left is seeing the sun, but at the same time, he actually is seeing what is behind the sun. And he was saying he thought. That means he's like, man, up until this point, I figured that the sun, or this was just a shining fire that gives light on every side. But clearly, he tells us what it actually is. He was talking about a person. Said this person was like a bright light. He said, yeah, the shine and the glister that lightened round about was like a rainbow, which in the rainy days appears in the clouds. Even so was the similitude wherein the glory, the Shekinah of Yahweh appeared. So as you see, this is what Ezekiel was shown by the angel that he's speaking to in the book of Ezekiel chapter 1. This is what it was. This is what is actually happening when you see that rainbow around that sun. There is somebody sitting, watching, observing, and recording everything that you do, man. And that stuff is, it's pretty scary, man. Because you know that there's some days where you might have made a mistake. And man, you was being straight recorded. It was a vital move that you did, man. Those are the ways that you got to view this, man, because this is a scary time. We actually have a creator that he chose to sit on a throne and to overlook people, watch them. But when we get this coming of Christ thing taught to us from the Christian's perspective, it's almost like it'll be like a televised event to where everybody is, watching, almost like, an invasion of aliens or something, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's watching it. We're all gasping and trembling like, oh shit, there he is, and it doesn't say, when you look in the scripts, Christ never says it was going to be that way. When you look into the script, Ezekiel never saw it that way. When you go back to Genesis,
Ezekiel as not getting food. He said it. How did Ezekiel see it? And I'm telling him, Ezekiel knew what the glory of the Most High was, which was that Shekinah.
Yeah, they it's a vision. He's being showed a vision. He's being showed a television screen, man. An angel is showing him these things. These guys were biblically inclined. At the time when you see like the writings of the prophets, of the major prophets like Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah, these guys are well into a cultural practice of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. I'm talking about hundreds of years in. So when he's talking about these, he sees something and he automatically calls it the glory. It's because he has a pre-existing knowledge that is derived from the Torah, primarily from what we just read, Genesis. Exodus. These will be things that from now on, I'm talking about us, our generation, from now on, all the way up into eternity, we're going to actually know. We're going to always know from these points on that when you see a rainbow around the sun, we're not going to call it a rainbow around the sun. We're going to say the Shekinah or the glory. Uh-oh. There goes the Lord's glory. You feel me? All praise to the Most High Power.
All praise to the Most High Yahweh in heaven.
Big time, man. So now let's look at the words of Christ, Matthew 24:3.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Matthew 24:3 now. Let's get down to the main character. He said, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives. As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? Talking about the destruction of the temple. And what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? Okay, so there's a sign of his coming and the end of the world. This sign represents those two events. That's right. They asked. They didn't say, when will be your coming? And when will be the end of the world? They said, what shall be the sign? You catch that, man? What shall be the sign? The sign of your sign of what? The sign of your coming and the sign of the end of the world. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people is waiting for the coming. A lot of people is anticipating the end of the world. But they have been misguided and delusioned because they're overlooking the first step. You need to go look for the sign first. There's a sign. If you don't know that the world is ending until the day that the world ends, you're probably going to die in the process of it being destroyed. Christ explicitly mentions that scenario when he talks about how the days of the end is going to be like the days of Noah. They're not even going to realize it. They're not going to receive the sign all the way until these people are completely destroyed. In other words, they won't receive it until it's too late, man. So now Christ says, then if many shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. You know what I'm saying? It was like he picked up right where we just now left off in our dialogue just now. Because we're not supposed to be waiting for Christ to show up. We're supposed to be waiting for the sign that he has showed up. He said, that's why he says, if any will say that Christ is over here or Christ is over there, he said, you ain't got to believe that. He's like, because that's not even the party. That's not the name of the game. He said, there shall rise false Christ and false prophets and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. All right, and then we can see right here these signs. We can see right here these wonders. And we can see how this 12 tribe chart right here has deceived many. Has deceived many. But the real elected officials, the primary runners of this next system, ain't gonna fall for it.
That's right.
That's how, you know what I'm saying? That's how we're going to be able to determine the levels of leadership when we do get out of here and we start setting up our institution. It's going to be that simple. Like you believed in like, let me look at your emails and shit. Let me look at your Facebook and all that. Let me look at your social media accounts, in other words. And you look it up, you like, nigga, I can go into your YouTube history right now. I can go into your YouTube history right now, and I can see that you've been watching this shit, teaching that these people is the children of God. But then you'll look at an African and diss the shit out of him. Why are you talking shit to an African? Why you got a Mexican standing next to you talking about this Mexican is your brother? That shit, like, you know, I'm not hating. It ain't no hating on no freaking Mexicans to sit here and say like, hey man, you know, those people ain't black. People acting like you know what I'm saying, you stealing from them. When you say Mexicans ain't black, you hate Mexicans. You be like, how do I hate Mexicans? They're not. I don't hate Mexicans because I know that they're not black people. You know, this Mexicans being black people thing is fucking like pretty much new. Nobody actually accepts that or teaches that. They're not teaching that. You're not going to go into any institution of knowledge and they're going to try to, you know what I mean, persuade you into believing that Mexicans at some point in time were Negroes.
Yeah,
that's
man,
why these are great signs and great wonders. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really big, you know what I'm saying, confusions, man. Really will throw you all the way off. But these are indications.
We know that they are the Chinese people, you know what I mean, and we could tell by the look at the Bering Strait and the people that is near that area, which is the what is it, those Eskimos. The Eskimos, you know what I mean? And then you look at the Eskimos, look at the Native Americans, and they look the exact same. And then the Native Americans mixed with the Spaniards, which created the Mexicans.
Gone.
And all these other, you know what I mean, Guatemalans and all them peoples.
For real.
Mixed with Mexicans too.
Uh-huh.
They all mixed with Spanish too. All the way down.
Yeah, the Spanish
right.
are white people.
Except
the Spanish
the
people are white. Spanish people are white. They're not Hispanic. They are white people. Look at
right. And Spaniards and Portuguese are the same. There ain't no difference between the Spanish and the Portuguese.
God, man, they're on the same continent.
All these people are the same. You know, you change the name, you change the game. That's how they do it. You know what I mean? We're dealing with a wicked people. But if you're just looking, just take your eyes. Stop using your brain all the time. First, use your eyes. Look. Like when I look at this picture of Asher, that's a set of China people.
God.
I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna play with it. People want to play with this shit. They want to look at their eyes and be like, man, that's a black man. Them people used to be black. And you be like, what the fuck, man? You know what? I don't even want to play with that though. I don't want to add all kind of extra over exaggerations and shit and hype up my senses. I'm just gonna look right at them. I'm like, no, I know what that is right there though. I'm like, that's a Chinese person. You're like, what? Yeah, you know, them people right there, they came from the continent of Asia.
God.
You're like, how do you know that? Because they still look Asian.
God. Yeah.
They all look the same.
Yeah, they all be looking the same. I'm like, it was like I didn't even know the difference between, you know what I'm saying, between the Japanese and the Chinese until you start telling me.
Yeah, you got to live with them to know the difference.
Yeah, they gotta say it to me. They gotta say I'm Japanese, and I'll be like, oh. But if you really ask me, I'd just be like, shit, I know that y'all all Asian.
Right.
All y'all is just some Asians.
That's what they call themselves, Asian.
Right. So they not even playing with it. So why I gotta play with it? And then, yeah, okay, I'm going on some 12 try stuff, man. Well, even the Native American, I mean the Chinese people in China set up museums to commemorate these people over here.
Nah.
Yeah, man. They got museums. They got the Chinese people got Native American museums.
Whoa! Oh, that
Literally
was
based
them.
claims.
Oh, that's their history. That's their history.
Yes. And when the Chinese people started like becoming into power and some shit like that, they actually addressed America about what they did to their distant relatives, the Native Americans. The Chinese don't like what the white man did to the Native Americans because they really know, like, nigga, those is our people. Yeah, the Japanese didn't like it. They're all the same.
The Baton Death March was retribution for that shit.
See, you hear that?
What?
Death March.
OG over here said,
Yeah.
OG over here, he pushing 80, so he knows what's up.
Yeah.
He literally just said that there's something called the Baton Death March. All right?
Right.
How did that go?
Yeah, we were killing Americans
The Japanese was killing Americans
because of what they did to the Cherokee and the Choctaw.
because of what they did to the Cherokee and the Choctaw.
Oh, the Cherokee and the Choctaw, the Indians that still have the right that they never took their rights from. They fought for their rights to keep their customs, their religions, and their language.
Right. Yeah, those people. But you know, they did the the Trail of Tears on those same people.
Yeah.
So when and the Chinese, they got word of that.
Yeah, I knew about it.
You know?
The world watched them do it.
They said the whole world watched them do that shit. So when they did that,
almost impeached Andrew Jackson for doing that shit. He almost got impeached for that shit.
you see, there's a lot of stuff that's going on about between China, America, and the Native Americans.
Yeah, they wanted to take Andrew Jackson's name off the $20 bill because of what he did. You know.
Dang.
So he defied Congress to do that. He took the military and forced those people to make that wall all the way from the East Coast, all the way across the Mississippi River, all the way up to Oklahoma. That's a long ass way.
Right.
You know?
Hell yeah. Yeah, a lot of people died.
Right.
Most of them didn't make it. Well, yeah. So when they try to say that, okay, you know what I'm saying, those is our people. No, this is what Christ was talking about these false prophets and these false Christs that arise showing these great signs and wonders, deceiving specifically or attempting to try to deceive the specific elect. He said, behold, I've told you before. Wherefore if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers or the secret places, believe it not. For as the lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So when people try to say that the Bible, and this is touching something else, but we got to get this out because that one nation set apart, man, we're going to get it all in. When we see that you're going to run across some people that try to say that the map is upside down and that people back in historical days before the white man became in rule, it was backwards. So in other words, we would say that the sun rose in the west and it shined into the east. But we see in the scriptures, which is the truth, it shows you clearly, like, no, we haven't went upside down. The whole world ain't upside down. It's just Negroes is living upside down, man. Negroes is living ass backwards. all these other nations never stopped serving their God. So these people still know that they're facing north when they're facing north too. They know that the sun shines from the east and sets onto the west. Because people are saying, well, they're looking like, where are you going with? How'd you get to the sun? You talking about the sun? Yeah, I'm talking about the sun. The sun is that lightning.
That's right.
Out of the east. Like, yeah,
That's
we got
right.
lightning. We got lightning bolts, but then we have a lightning, or in other words, a light source. There is a lightning, a light source that comes out of the east and shines even unto the west. We know that that is the sun that does that. He said, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And we're going to look at that word, lightning. It's astrape. G796. All right? It's used 8 times for lightning, but we see that it was used 1 time as light shining. So we look at the outline biblical usage. It says lightning of the gleam of a lamp, or of a gleam of a lamp.
What did the Most High say that the sun was in the beginning in Genesis?
He said it was a light that shines, a light that rules over the day.
A light.
That's what he said, right? So we know what this is talking about. So as the lightning that comes from the east and sets unto the west, what is the lightning that comes from the east and sets and shines unto the west? It's none other than the sun. None other than the sun. So that's how you tie in what he said in Ezekiel 1:26. All right. When he says, and I beheld him, and he was like a clear light, as it had been all of fire within his loins upward. And beneath, when I looked upon him under the loins, methought he was like a shining fire that gives light on every side. Let's go back to what Christ says. For as the lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. He was talking about the sun. With the rainbow that goes around it. It's that simple. That is the contemporary proof. The event that is alongside or happening at the same time. I mean, the person and the event that's happening at the exact same time, which is the coming of Christ, which is shown by the sign, the Shekinah, around the lightning that comes out of the east and sets unto the west. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, or of the sky, with power and great Shekinah, great glory. And man, this one right here looks dope, man. It looks like it's moving to me every time I look at it. It's a trip right here, man. That's what I see all the time. This is what Akmalak sees all the time. This is what Akiyao sees all the time, man. We see these things. And honestly, look at this. This is what the whole world is seeing in all actuality. Boom. Boom. That was in India. Look at this. Look how many times this has been viewed now. Now they're starting to make artistic renditions in India with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is seen all over the world. And all the way to Canada, to India. Asia. Russia. Where was that at? It was see this stuff, man?
Boston, Hudson Valley,
Hindu, wherever them people is at. On the East Coast.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the Gulf of the Persian. Yeah, I mean, it's
Hudson
everywhere.
Valley.
The whole world seeing it, that like the Most High, like it says in the scriptures. The
This is
glory
crazy.
will be seen.
Yeah. This is phenomenal.
Then everybody's gonna see the coming of the Son of Man. And we see everybody seeing it. This is proof. We're not lying. Look at Taiwan. What?
Yeah.
Come on, man. This is not being made up. Valencia. The Most High says that the whole world will see it. And we go, and everywhere we see it, around the whole world, Massachusetts, it's a Shekinah. The glory. Christ is coming has been seen.
That's right. That's pandemonium, man. It's jaw-dropping. It is. But when you hopped up on Cheetos and Hot Pockets, watching gay television and out of your mind all the time, real shit. When you got all these things going on inside that toboggan, these people they easily dismiss these type of things, and I don't understand how, but they do. They'll say, "Nah, man, they said that these are ice crystals," and you be like, "I don't give a shit what they say, man, because these things be happening in the middle of 120 degrees. It be 120 degrees outside." 117 degrees outside, burning hot, and that'll still be there. These things don't come in just in cool weather.
So special.
This will be coming in the dead of winter. I mean, the dead of summer. I'm talking about midsummer, blazing. That's why, man, we gotta be able to think biblically and always go for what the Bible is saying first and foremost, and just make sure that their explanations lines up with the Bible. They say, well, these things were they happen like this. You're like, well, why did they start happening just only recently? They didn't. These are not. This is not some old school shit. This is new school. Within the last 10 years type stuff. It just doesn't stop, man. To see this many, it's something is communicating to us. For you to pull this up, and this is what you're getting, you're like, damn. It's like this thing is all over the place. Is something trying to contact us? Is something trying to send a message or a sign? If you wasn't stupid and hopped up on Hot Pockets, you would definitely draw that conclusion quickly. Like, man, wait a minute, man, what is this? Something's Like, why is it dark in the inside?
The faggots even can't even say they ain't seen it.
Yeah, fruit balls, man. Even the fruit balls. Get these fruit balls out of here. Yeah, the fruit balls even know. Come on now. They over there prancing and dancing up under the sun and rainbow.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? You know where they're going. You know what I mean? They get separated, man. They the GOAT.
Hell yeah, man. Them dudes.
Workers of iniquity. That's what Christ does when he shows up. He what he's doing is he's separating the sheep from the goat.
Try to roll up and try to say something. Try to roll up to us. Try to say something talking about you got a lighter. No. You know, what the fuck you talking about? Why don't you fucking come up and walk up and say shit, nigga? You know what the fuck we saying out here. You crazy as a motherfucker, man. Homosexuals. Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, this society has to go. This place has to end, man, because they have emboldened homosexuals, man. They just try to walk up to you and say something. You be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You see that we standing here with the Bible. Oh yeah, we're down with the Bible. Don't you take your faggot ass and walk up to me and tell me shit. Excuse my language, children. But this is how I deeply feel. I'm like, who done emboldened you motherfuckers, man? So now that you just sitting around here just walking up to fucking people, man. Why don't you go hide under the rock? Coming out over here, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, no, man. See, this is that's why that rainbow around the sun is here. It's to show our people. Like, hey, y'all, man. No, for real. We gotta start being serious, man. And them homosexuals and shit, that ain't some serious stuff. That's straight bullshit. These people on these drugs, man, that ain't no serious, man, that's not serious. You out here still playing and shit, man. When we got a sign that's letting you know, hey, man, there's a covenant. The deal is back. Like, hey, man, the deal is back on. Yippee. No. Shh. Hold on for a second before you start celebrating. Let me let you know first, though, and foremost, God is to be feared. He's jealous. I'm like, so with that being said, man, like, it's time to wake up.
That's right.
We can't be playing no more. There's going to be a certain kind of people that's going to make it through the times that the Most High God is setting on these people. It's not just a certain race, but it's a certain type of people that is in that race. These people shall be saved. But you got to go about this right. We can't be smoking dopes. We can't be sitting around here drunk as hell, slumming and bumming around, chasing tail, and talking to the women. Y'all can't be over here trying to have multiple dudes.
Wow.
Talking that shit like I'm some independent black woman. What the fuck is that? What are you talking about? What is that shit? Excuse my language, children. But man, I'm fed up, man. I'm looking at the bullshit behavior still persist. And that stuff gets annoying and it gets old quick, man. And after a while, man, it makes you want to look at them and just say, man, what the hell? What the fuck are you, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, are you serious? Y'all literally is going to let this behavior consist? And everybody just wants to be talked all nice to. Want to get your ego stroked. But your parents done that long enough. And then look what the world done turned into. The moment when parents started stroking their kids' egos. Gay galore. What? Homosexual madhouse. How dare you? Falling in love with the world, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Let's get back on this script, man, because I had to go on my little tangent for a second because it's like, damn. Are you guys really serious? Are you freaking kidding me? You're seriously parlaying, prancing around with a homosexual? All these people. Well, my cousin, he's gay. I don't give a fuck. Like, so what? Keep his gay ass away from your kids then, because that stuff doesn't mean anything, man. Like, they all got to be related to somebody.
Yeah, it's that's a negative role model, man.
Con, man.
That's not a positive role model that that should be around your kids.
Right.
You don't want to teach your kids to be non-procreative.
Right. They be trying to have the TV show, saying, putting these people all up in your face. You're like, damn. I remember when they were just complaining about violence on TV. I remember that's the only thing that you really could say. You're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? They do show a lot of violence on TV. Christians be coming through, talking crap about the television shows, but their main thing would just be about violence.
Who said that? Why was the house for?
I'm like, man.
Hey.
Now we got like just everything. The whole Pandora's box has been opened. We're gonna go to Luke 17 and 24, man. I guess we doubling up on this. As far as the lightning, that lightens out of the one part under heaven. Okay, so okay. See, that's a heavier one, because when you look at the Luke, it can't be nothing else but the sun. Look, for as the lightning that lightens out of the one part under heaven and shines unto the other part under heaven. That's the sun. So shall also the Son of Man be in his days. So now it's saying this is what you're getting out of the coming of Christ. This, you're going to see him as this. This is a sign or an indicator that Christ is here. So shall also the Son of Man be in his day. Now let's go back to 25 and 31 real quick. When the Son of Man shall come in his Shekinah and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his Shekinah, just like we've seen in Ezekiel 1. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand.
I thought I was unmuted, man. My bad.
Oh, okay. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Con. I didn't even know that was coming. I didn't know that was finna come.
Man, me neither. That was a cold.
You know what I mean?
Hey, all these dudes be calling themselves the goats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was like, man, it goes the most, you know what I mean? When Yahshua HaMashiach shows up, he separates the sheep from the goat. Then next, bam, came through. You know what I mean? That's that. Just, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Giving that all up to the Holy Spirit, man. That wasn't me.
that's right. That's dope, man. Because God he that shows you that he's precise. And even when these people try to deny him, they actually help prove him.
Con.
You know, because he predicted all these things, even this goat concept.
Yeah, I see it because they be saying they the goats.
They the goats. And every time you hear about them people, every time you hear somebody say they the goat, it ain't about them being righteous. It's always about them being the greatest all times of some frivolous bullshit.
Yeah, being better than everybody else.
Right.
That's what they're trying to say. I'm better than everybody else.
Shit, the goat going
Right.
on the left.
Right. I'm better than you at something that is pointless.
She remembered, so she forgot it.
Nah.
My bad. I had to grab something across the room. Yeah, them goats. Or whatever whatchamacallit, man. They got another thing coming. That's why he's separating and in not everybody that calls themselves the goat is the only ones that's goats. We got a lot of people that is striving to be goats, greatest of all times. We got people that is just running around without any leaders, without any sense of authority or commitment and devotion to anything.
That call themselves kings.
Yeah, running around calling themselves kings and gods, pharaohs. That's all goat shit, man. These people, in other words, thinking that they the greatest. And they don't have nothing to base that claim off of.
Con.
We see in Revelations 4:3, he says, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. So this dude was brown that was sitting on his throne. It was a brown man. What? Brown man. The color of a jasper and a sardine. Guess what color those are? Reddish brown. Let me get it. Hold on. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
hold on. Go ahead. I'm trying to do something like this because all right. Oh man, my audio's messing up, man. My bad, y'all. Hey, come on, man. See a Jasper stone?
Con.
I heard you the first time.
Boom.
I want to say, y'all gonna tick off the time.
This is Jasper. This is Jasper in its raw state.
Oh,
That's a
some
black.
brown, yeah, some brownish red. Like,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's simple. So this was a black man that they're describing. All right. He said, and he was to look, and he that was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, and sight like unto an emerald. Now at 2 Corinthians 8:22, and we have sent with them a brother of ours, whom we have oftentimes proved diligent in many things, but now much more diligent upon the great confidence which I have in you. All right. Has caused me to do this. Partly, okay, so these are these great confidences that he has in the children of Israel, in the so-called black man of his times that he was speaking to. These are the reasons of this confidence. All right. This is how he proved this dude to be much more diligent also. And we have sent with them a brother of ours, whom we have oftentimes proved diligent in many things, but now much more diligent upon the great confidence which I have in you, have caused me to do this, partly for Titus's sake, which is my partner in fellowship concerning you. Partly because that's one reason. Second reason, partly because of the other, which are our brethren. My bad. Partly because of the other, which are our brethren. That's two. And the messengers of the congregation. That's three. And this is the fourth. And the glory of Christ and the Shekinah of Hamashiach. Wherefore, show you them proof or sign of your love and of the rejoicing that we have of you, that the congregations may see it. Talking about the rainbow around the sun, man. Watch this. We know that sign means proof. We can either go into the biblical or just English definitions.
sign 100% means proof. Like, show me the sign.
Right. It says an object, quality, or event whose presence or occurrence indicates the probable presence or occurrence of something else. Proof. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, hey, he's having a heart attack. What's the signs? What's his signs?
Look. Proof.
What's the proof?
It says
Evidence.
similar.
Right.
Proof. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, proof, evidence.
Evidence. Proof.
Manifestation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mark.
Son. Mark.
What?
Token.
Oh, man, come on now.
You see that?
Yeah.
So Paul was talking about, man, there was the sign, the proof, because the sign is the proof. Wherefore show you to them proof of your love and of the rejoicing that we have of you, that the congregations may see it. We're going to go to Psalms 102 and 16. When the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his Shekinah. He shall appear in his rainbow around the sun. He will regard the prayer of the destitute. Why? Because he's sitting there now, and not despise their prayer. This shall be written for the generation to come, and the people which shall be created shall praise Yahweh. We are the people that is created. Why? Because before we were just a color.
Yeah. Or think about right now. I mean, think about it.
Huh?
We and then same thing. Now we was brought from the dust.
Right, exactly. Brought from the dust. Come from nothing now.
Yeah.
Coming from nothing, turning into the man. Similar to the God. Like Adam, once again.
Yeah,
It's letting you know right here, the generation to come. And the day when he shall build up Zion, the day that he's going to build up Zion, and he will appear in a Shekinah. He'll be listening and regarding our prayers. And this is a message to the generation to come. Wasn't actually talking about them at that time. This is a message to the generation to come. And the people which shall be created shall praise Yahweh. Oh yeah, I think we handled that. All praises to the Most High Power, man.
All praises.
So right there, so what we just did is we just went through the scripts. We went through the proof that the scripts have given us to line it up with the current events of this so-called solar halo. This is the all praises to the Most High Power, Bahasham Yahushua HaMashiach.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, man. Hallelujah, man. We in the last days, my people. Count yourself blessed and worthy. And do not become an unprofitable servant by just only doing what you're told to do. But tell others what they should be doing also. You know? Don't go off of this pagan ideology of you're judging me, only God can judge me with this Tupac philosophies. Because the scripture doesn't say that. It says, judge your neighbor.
It says follow after Christ's footsteps, man. Do what Christ did. Christ didn't just sit there and say only God can judge y'all. He was out there telling people, you know what I mean, warning people of their sins, you know what I mean? He was doing.
That's right. That's right, man. We gotta have an objective. We can't just be sitting around here blindly say we believe in God. Like, well, you believe in God, you read that word real quick. And once you read that word real quick, talk about what I mean by read real quick, the first 5 chapters. Once you read that, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I get what this is. I get what's going on. This book is it's a handbook on how to run you a government from scratch. All right, I get it. So then everything leads up to the efforts of that. That's why a lot of people they can't grasp the importance of Christ. And it's all because it's in all actuality, they don't have a clear clue on what this book is actually trying to accomplish. If they understood what the whole purpose of this covenant, they would easily accept Christ because they will understand what he's doing. They were like, oh, okay.
And that's why they're seeking kings too. They're seeking it for a king or claiming to be a king or claiming to be Christ.
Right. Because they don't understand. These are all, when I see and hear these things, I know that this person is still asleep. I'm like, oh, you're still asleep. You still don't know what we're doing. You be like, oh no, man, you're asleep still. You dreaming about what we're doing. You're dreaming that you're in it. But when you actually wake up, you're gonna realize you have gained no progress until you getting into the kingdom of God. All you have done is dreamed. That's a big obstacle that we got to make sure that we are clear of, man. Is that you're not thinking that you're woke when you're just actually sitting around here dreaming of being awoke. A lot of people, man, sad to say, but they're gonna fall for these wicked ways, man. This antichrist type of movement that's starting to become more and more prevalent. When you start looking in and having discussions with these so-called religious individuals, you be like, damn, man, there's an antichrist. There's literally a movement against Yahushua on one hand, and then on the other hand, you got a lot of people that don't even understand the coming of Christ, so they're still kind of anticipating for a whole different scenario. They're in anticipation of a completely different scenario, man. You got people that's waiting for, like, literally the earth to be destroyed. They're waiting for everybody to, go through obvious mayhem while we're still, sitting here, I guess, just chilling amongst everybody's mayhem. I don't know, man. It's a crazy scene. That's why when we gotta take in these hints when it says that every man shall come before the judgment seat. Everyone shall be held accountable for all their deeds. Why? Because he's watching you. He's literally sitting there, man, recording your BS. Children of Israel, man, y'all got to make sure that, man, if we can walk that narrow path. What is that, 7 and 13 of Matthew? Let me get that real quick, man. So this is the words of our leader right here, man. He's letting you know. All right, 7 and 13. He said, enter you in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, Why? He said, because straight is the gate. You got to have a straight life, man. That's the reason why a lot of people go into that wide, man. Is because they don't want to live a straight life. They don't want to have no, you know what I'm saying? It's like a soldier, man. We all soldiers in the military. And when you're a soldier in the military, man, you got to have your act straightened up. You can't go to the military and become a dope addict. That's not going to work. You can't come to the military and not put in 100% into your duty. Whatever they assign you to do, you got to be like, man, you got to respond. There is no game. When you're training, man, it's serious. And then when you go and use that training in the real life, it's life and death, man. That's how we have to see this, man. But a lot of people, man, they don't want to go in that straight. He says, but because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it. All right? Few there be that finds it, man. 3 or 4, something like that. Because at the end of the day, man, you gotta be serious about the truth. You gotta be able to look a Mexican right in his eyes and say, like, nah, you're not a black person. You know, no, you're not the children of God. Your people, you know, you guys ought to repent. And somebody should tell you guys, because the ones that ain't telling you this, they're robbing you. They're misleading you, setting you up for failure. Because when it gets down to dividing up pieces of land to every individual, you're gonna know damn well you done messed up when you invited every Tom, Dick, and Harry into the covenant. You're gonna know that you literally made a mistake, a big mistake. You're like, damn, I didn't look at this that way. You're like, yeah, you messed up. You can't tell 2 other people groups that they have right now to the division of the land. That's how, you know, it goes to show you how erroneous people is, man. That's why Christ says, man, beware of these false prophets. Beware of these false teachers, man. Fake Christ.
Huh?
With that being said, all praises to the Most High Power, man. By Hashem Yahushai, man. The coming of the sign of the coming of Christ, man, is here, man. We got that irrefutable proof, man. It's up to you to see it. It's up to you to receive it or not receive it. Well, matter of fact, let me get that scripture.
Daniel 12?
No, the wicked and adulterous generation seeks for a sign.
God.
Matthew 16:4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. No. This sign, these people right here, man, they seek for the proof. You got those Egyptologist people, you got them Pan-African cats out there, man. They seeking for the sign. They want the proof. These naysayers, these people, these Torah only people that don't believe in Christ, they seeking for the proof. But they ain't gonna receive none of this, man. They will not get no sign.
And it's not this isn't talking about the sign that we were just talking about. This is talking about they're literally seeking like literal proof. They like what we just show right here. This isn't tangible enough for them. You know what I mean?
They won't accept that.
Yeah, they want to see something. They want to see a physical man. That's what they want to see.
Kind. They want their version of a sign that they have concluded in their minds. I'll accept it if it's this.
Yeah,
I'll accept
like if you can show me Moses' grave right now, I'll accept it.
You're right.
Like,
you know, all of a sudden you just now you got the right to name the condition on what is acceptable proof or not. No, the contemporary proof is he said it. He said that when I show up, you're going to see the sign of man coming. You're going to see the sign of the Son of Man in the clouds with glory. There's a sign that is attributed to his arrival. That ain't contemporary enough for you? Man, only thing I can say is, man, the Most High Power has still clouded your mind, man, and you got a lot to worry about. That's all I really got to say, man. That'll be the truth. I'm talking about, if you ask me, personally speaking, I'll say, damn, the Most High God has still clouded your mind. You have a lot to worry about. And I would tell them, try to figure this out as quick as possible. That would be my word to you. Kal halal ha'abah b'hasham Yahushua Hamashiach, man. All praises to the Most High God, and in the name of Christ, Yahushua, the Messiah. Man, we got it's a little bit time left here, y'all. Time out. Endure to the end, man. Stay patient, man, and do not leave off of that narrow path, man. Stay with the business. Keep the commandments. Apply them to your life. Shalom, Prince of Yahweh. Shalom, Q Almighty. Shabbat Shalom, man. Everybody, man. Big O. Shabbat Shalom, Big O. Good to see you, brothers. Yeah, man.
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
And with that being said, man, show people the proof. When we run into somebody, man, and they look like they somebody that thirsts for that righteousness, they thirst and hunger for righteousness, man, bless that brother. Bless him and give him that extra confidence for that hope of salvation. These type of things, man, keeps our people from deterring off of the path, man. Because sometimes, man, sometimes people stumble and they need to be lifted up. They need some reinsurance. And that right there could be a foundation that keeps them anchored into staying God conscious, consciously aware of God. Shabbat Shalom, man. We're gonna play one out. All praises to the Most High Heavenly Father, man. The water for this, man. Thank you for the proof. Battle Axe finna has Akmalak Torah.
What makes you set apart?
Ak Yahusah. Q Almighty. Big O. Prince of Yahweh. Rocking non-stopping. All praises. The elect.
Yashiyao.
Ak Yashar Yao. All praises.
Yeah. This your folk 104, my hot canal. It's just that Moscow kitty. Here to the Lord. Yeah. Levels. Rich Rooster, never been with a big Rooster. She get out of line, I'm a check. Get that right, we checking them speed. All thing here, the script, you gon' hear. Said she want me out of herself. Don't worry about that, that don't sell. Coming straight out the gate with it. Bro, like you must like the smoke. Say you coming too blind. Rearrange how I come with it. Don't get you straight to a one. They the one. My boys, I say you ambitious. Just wanna hear well done. My good face to serve. I'ma step where they send me. Look, you don't get in your city. I'm going to ride 4019. Do the business and still this.
Yeah. Them Hebrews, they stay, claim. All praise to the Most High, we royalty. It's that world versus the truth. DJ Kid on the track. Fringes on, borders a compliment. She got a hair wrap, she a compliment. Yeah. We gon' do it like our fathers and our mothers did it. I got my fringes on, borders a compliment. She got a hair wrap, she a compliment. Abraham and Sarah, that's a compliment. Isaac and Rebecca, they a compliment. Keep the laws, that's what we do. This is the world versus the truth. We seek a higher so we cannot lose. Yeah, the world know we the real truth. Rockin' my fringes, that borderline blue. I got on my meet you hair up too. Keep the commandments, yeah, that's what we do. Seek a higher, we cannot lose. Hey, rockin' my fringes, giving praise while I'm dancing. Hey, my eye is too. You know the borderline blue. Hey, she modest like Ruth, and her hair wrapped too. We from the tribe of Judah. Give a higher praise, let's do it. Modest of pearl, rocking our garments, waking our people up. They seeing our talk, they seeing our walk. We keep our spirits up. The devil tempts and higher will, and we are not giving up. We are our people, we are not equal. Yeah, the law. I got my fringes on, borders a compliment. She got a hair wrap, she a compliment. Abraham and Sarah, that's a compliment. Isaac and Rebecca, they a compliment. Keep the laws, that's what we do. This is the world versus the truth. We seek a higher so we cannot lose. Yeah, the world know we the real truth. Rockin' my fringes, that borderline blue. I got on my meet you hair up too. Keep the commandments, yeah, that's what we do. Seek a higher, we cannot lose. I got my fringes on, compliment by borders are blue. I know who I am. If you don't know, you're a real Jew. The ox know his owner, and the ass know it too. Israel, they don't know. They don't even have a clue. My wifey's super modest. Yeah, she match what I do. I love that she approves. And she keep the laws too. And no statues. Yeah, wifey keep it true. Just like our foreparents, we do just like they do. Got my fringes on. Borders a compliment. She got her hair wrapped. She a compliment. Abraham and Sarah, that's a compliment. Isaac and Rebecca, they a compliment.
Keep the laws, that's what we do. This is the world versus the truth. We seek a higher so we cannot lose. Yeah, the world know we the real truth. Working my fringes, the borderline blue. I got on my Michio hair up too. Keep the commandments, yeah, that's what we do. Seeking a higher, we cannot lose. Hey.
All praises to the Most High Power, man. And we out. See y'all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.